Hey everybody, this is 1980s Toys. I bought a Kenner mass collection from a guy on eBay. I seem to have a ton of the vehicles and a lot of the parts, so I'm really interested to open this box and go through it. I've actually bought from this seller before, and his stuff was in such great shape. Really excited. I'm a toy collector, so we're going to go ahead and see how this goes. I got a feeling, though, that if this opens up into a big thing of bubble wrap, that I'll hit the magic pause button and be back. Because you guys certainly don't want to see me opening up a ton of bubble wrap for 30 minutes and listening to me reminisce about mass toys. So let's see what we got here. All right then. Mega packing. Let's see. Is it all going to fall out? I have to have like a giant disaster here in the interest of good video. Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. All right, so yes, let's see if I can open this sort of smartly. That is definitely the Switchblade helicopter. The motorcycle guy. Can't remember what that's called, but it's a sports car. The back of the tractor trailer, the Rhino. Condor. All right, let's see how we can figure this out. Okay. Vampire, I think it's called. The firecracker. The purple motorcycle thing. The sidecar. The white airplane. What is that? The little ATV thing? Yeah, we'll figure that out. I'm sure you guys are thrilled looking at bubble wrap right now. The SUV, the black SUV. Of course, the most favorite part of any box, the giant bag of parts and things. Oh, wow. What is that? The Rhino, I think. That's actually the Rhino cab. Part, and I think the only part that was included of Boulder Hill. Still super cool, though. The snake oil tanker. I always can't remember. Oh, the Outlaw. That's what it was called. Things shaking inside. That's always good. We like parts. The Thunderhawk. Very excited to open that. I hope that's in nice shape. That's one of my favorite pieces. The little race car guy. And it's kind of bent up. Hopefully that's okay. And it's just the way he does. The Gator Jeep. And the green sports car. Hurricane, I think. What's this? Condor number 2. The yellow guy. All right, I think that's it inside the box. I'll hit pause and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. So this is everything that is unwrapped. I'm going to run through it real quick so I don't bore you guys to death with me talking. But I'm actually really excited about most of it. A couple things have some broken springs and things like that, but I'll go over it real quick. Was always happy to see almost all of the classic vehicles that were included. So, and then for the most part, they're in good shape. There's a couple of exceptions, but you know, this is pretty sweet, man. I gotta say. You know, first off, you got the Vampire motorcycle with driver. I thought he's obviously in really good shape. It does have one of the black missiles, as you can see right here. No windshield though, but he does work. So all in all, nice little set. I'm sure at some point in time I can put together the rest of those. I can never remember the name of this motorcycle, but I know it came with a guy named Sly. So we have a helmet and the motorcycle. This is the one where, you know, it ejects from the sidecar, which I always thought was awesome. The windshield on the bike. And it goes... Is that the Piranha? It might be the Piranha motorcycle, now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah. There we go. So I'm missing a driver for that one. But it does work. In the bag of parts, I put all the parts where they belong, but in the bag of parts was 2 extra figures. And I think this is the matte tracker that goes to the volcano. When I looked that up. And this is a bonus Miles Mayhem, because there's one in the jet. But this one has the hole in the mask. And I think this is the one that came in like a 2-figure accessory pack. But now you got a bonus Miles and an extra matte. But no volcano vehicle. Well, that would have been nice, but that's okay. This is the iguana. Great shape. Driver is in great shape. All of these, I think almost every single one of these had the drivers in great shape for the sets that I bought. All of this one works. He comes up. He's got his little razor blades in here, his machine guns. Just a cool little vehicle, cool little set. I always thought that was really awesome. That's one of those ones that when you bug your mom in a store, she just bought you because it was like 10 bucks or something like that, just to get you off her back for a couple of minutes. Never had this as a kid, but I've had a couple of them like it. The Hurricane, phenomenal shape. Has the tire. The tire works. See if I can launch it across the room. Yep. See if I can find that later off camera. Turn the top, pops out. Bottom comes out. This comes up and down. Headlights come out. You've got Hondo inside with his mask. He can stand up and use the gun. But this was phenomenal. I mean, this is probably one of the better conditioned ones that was in there for sure. No repairs needed. Oh, spoke too soon. There we go. Oh, because I wasn't having it in there. There you go. I think. Is that how? Now, what makes it stay in there? A prayer. All right. I thought, is it, or is it the top? Ah, it's the top. Okay. So there we go. Don't laugh at me. All right. Gas station catapult, snake oil catapult. I think this is complete. From what I understand, the gas hose is always lost, so that's a good thing that it was in that bag of parts. All 3 tires. The other Sly figure with the blue mask. I guess if I got desperate, I could stick him on the motorcycle, right? Super awesome shape. I'd never seen or played with this as a kid or anything like that, but all it really is you flip this over, and it becomes a catapult for these little tires. Pretty basic set, but honestly, I mean, you can't beat that. That's a sweet bonk little set there. Great for display. Great shape. Back in the back, we have the Meteor airplane with his little wings I haven't put on yet. But he's got his 2 little top wings there that go on the back. He does have his pilot with his mask inside, looking good. As always, one of the best surprises for these vehicles was that this thing does have these 2 red ski missiles from this thing that pops down. And then inside, this hatch is where this little missile drops down, but I'm pretty sure that was in there, right? If I can figure it out. Ta-da! There it is. Bop. Man, so that's always good. I think almost every single one of these vehicles was complete when it came to missiles and things like that, so I'm super happy about that. I got to figure out more about how to transform this. I get nervous about pushing this down because it's really hard to push down. And then when I tried to transform this one earlier, these don't come down all the way. They kind of have like a tilt to them. So when it's sort of a pain. So that's one I want to kind of play with and go online. I'm scared on some of these because the springs are kind of rickety. So this one is the Bullet motorcycle with this driver. This one was complete. It does have the little tow rope attachment on the back. I had this one as a kid too, from a yard sale. I don't think I had the driver, but I did have the motorcycle. But he had a little bit of mass damage there. Not too bad, but you know, overall still really good shape. Motorcycle's in great shape. Everything worked on it. Let's see. This was in the bag of parts. This is, I think I looked it up, and it's the Coast Patrol matte tracker. Little, like, you know, blister card set or something. It does have the hook and the 2 red missiles. I'm not sure if it's missing anything else, but I'll double check that too. But those are those little fun sets that go off on the side. The first bummer sort of one. I was really excited about this because, as you can see, we do have the canopy, all the guns, but this is missing. So we've got 1 silver flaring missing, and wait a minute. Oh, there it is. I knew it had that part. So that's always good. Driver, Miles Mayhem, great shape. It's got the different, the black piece helmet there. However, this has been glued. So this is the pop-up piece for this. So you push this down, and then, that's what pops the helicopter blades up. So then, you do this, and they spin around and all that kind of stuff. Flip it over, all that. But we do have a problem. So you put this down, whatever. This clips in. You can hear the spring. This, no spring. I did take this screw out, and there's a couple of bottom screws around here somewhere. I think they're, under here, and one's back here. And I kind of folded it down just a little bit to see. And there's a spring that goes to this, even though it does clip in. So you can do a helicopter mode, successfully, but the wing function doesn't pop out like it's supposed to. So yeah, there's a spring that kind of clips on a little arm down inside this thing, and the arm is broken off. Probably just from age or spring tension or something like that. But overall, really good shape. I'm honestly just try to find this piece and, on eBay in a parts auction or something, and then just display it as an airplane. It does display really well. But yeah, you can see where I think this is probably the super most common piece that got broken. So I guess that little blue finger down in here broke off, and it's been glued back now to make this thing stay down. I've been actually looking at that too, and that is a super common error with these, because the more people push this down and then that little finger breaks off. But overall, I mean, it would display really well. You can pop the wings out, the little guns down here pop out and all that stuff. So if you're looking to display, still a nice little piece. And maybe you can find one and salvage it. And I can maybe pull that arm off. But I'll tell you one thing, when you took that thing apart, man, it had 60 million springs in there. So that was what made me nervous about not going further with it, because I don't want to have springs explode everywhere. Jackhammer, super awesome shape. Does have the driver and the gun thing that goes up top here. If it would nice to come out for me on the camera, thank you. I love this one as a kid. This is another one I remember getting at a garage sale. You never had the Top Gun, so I'm awful glad to have that. It kind of stinks that on this one, it doesn't store inside the vehicle, so you just kind of have to like stick it in the front seat or something. It's weird that they gave you an accessory you had to sort of keep track of. But it does work. Everything seems to be in good shape. It does have the little machine guns on the front when you pop this out. So that all works. This doesn't stay super tight, but I'm assuming that's also some kind of little spring under here or something. That's just not as tight as it used to be. But still, looks really good. I don't think on any of these either that they had busted tire rubber. So I'm glad to see that too. Put his little gun up there. 2 Condor motorcycles and 1 helmet. So these are both complete. They really didn't come with anything other than a windshield, I think. But yeah, missing stickers, but helicopter blades are complete. I remember now when a kid I used to play with that little front gun. I used to put stuff around it because you could pop it up. Anybody else play with tinfoil when you were a kid? I used to do it all the time. I used to like make everything a giant tinfoil cannon. So we got, actually, now that I'm looking at it, 2 different masks. So there's this guy. He's actually got really good paint. I remember having one of these in a long time ago that had super scratched off right there. But we got 2 different mask styles here, short and long. I don't know if you can actually tell the difference in this figure, which one it's actually supposed to go to. I remember that the short masks are the more desirable because they were the early versions. So we'll see. This is the Gator Jeep. Oh, I loved this one as a kid. I had not seen this in probably 30 years. I am 40 plus years old. But I had forgotten how this even worked, so it took me a minute to remember that all you do is you just sort of push or lift up the piece. There's no real mechanism that does it, but it did have the the boat depth charge, but it does not have the Top Gun. So I'll have to see if I can find me a Top Gun. Get it. Has the driver, correct mask. So yeah, it just kind of like pulls up to shoot the boat out. And probably not with his big head in there. I don't know. Oh yeah, maybe so. But I thought that was, I just didn't remember it being like that as a kid for some reason. I thought you had to do something more radical than just lift up the Jeep. Oh, did I jack it on camera? Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, man, I was like, this is weird that this is how this works. That you just lift it up and the shell retains the boat. So that's kind of funky. But yeah, that sound you heard might have been me jacking it on camera. We'll see. Wait, that didn't sound right. Don't use that. Jacking it up. Firecracker. Awesome, great shape. Has the long version mask of this guy. And I remember even as a kid, one of my friends had this and had the little tiny short mask. So that would have been cool. But this has top, front bumper, motorcycle hitch, back bumper, but no motorcycle, so we're missing a motorcycle. And then sadly, this piece does not work. I looked this up, and when you get under here, although it does have these guys, there is a little tiny switch up in there that you can tell that's broken off. And so I guess that's what makes it so that these blades stay in and that this thing will stay attached. Bummed about that. This is one of my favorite ones. Once again, had this from a yard sale as a kid. Didn't have all the pieces, but I did have, like, you know, the tire part. And I will love to see if I can rehab that one. That's going to be one I'm never going to get rid of. So I'm excited about that one. Love to see if I can find a way to repair it. All right. Stinger. I believe this is complete. Super good shape. It does have the little gun, which goes on the front. It has the claw. You pop this out, I think, right? Ta-da! Pops out the two wheels. This little guy shield thing comes up. I think you stick the cannon in the front there, or maybe you put it in the middle, whatever. I don't know if that's supposed to stand up all the way straight or it just leans back. I don't know. But yeah, still super great shape, all that. Awesome looking. These little tire guns come out. These things sit up and I guess they become guns. So nice shaped Stinger for sure. And on to the race car. What is that called? Like the Viper or something? I can never remember what the heck this one is either. But once again, honestly, super good shape. Other than, if you guys remember when I was unboxing this thing, that the wheels look like they've got a tilt to it. So like I think it was squished. In its day, it probably sat at the bottom of a box and got squished up, because when you try to put this flat now, it doesn't really roll. Kind of scrapes a little bit. It's got a scrape to it. So something happened where these have been kind of bent down and smushed a little bit. But that being said, I think you pop it there, and it did have the missile on the bottom. So that was great to know. So there's the missile for that. The extreme close-up. You fold these guys out up front. It's got a gun under there and it flies around. Driver's in great shape. So overall, another awesome shaped vehicle with the missile complete. Moving on to the top of Boulder Hill. It did have the two guys that come with it. They seem to be in really good shape. So our main issue is that I have nothing else. So all I get is a gun and a shell. That will be a project for this year. This is 2022, and that might be my project, is to get a complete Boulder Hill. Whether or not, I think this is probably the most common piece ever. Everybody else lost everything but this piece because it's giant and it's hard to lose. So I will hang on to this and see if I can find a way to piece one together. Add that to the pile. Oh, there's my tire. We cannot lose that. All right. Moving on to the last three, my favorite three. This one was another sort of a bummer. This one does have a significant sort of broken part on it. This is the Rhino. Has the two drivers, the other guy's in the back. I think that's Bruce again. I think Bruce is in a couple of different sets. And then you got another Matt back here. He's kind of hanging out and chilling. You just heard the door fall off back there. Does have the missile. Missile works. Just wiped out my firecracker. But yeah, so we got the mat that goes back here. You got some sticker wear, of course, on the little radar deal. But he's in good shape. Nice looking mat there. You got the back part of the trailer. This works, all that. So the problem comes, I think one of these, what's that? That works, that's good. This does fold down. That probably needs, you know, some help. But the ejection seat part is kind of messed up. I don't know if this is the door that just flew off. I don't know if this is supposed to go better over here. I don't know. It does just kind of fit in there. But when you do the action, it shot the seat out. This thing, this exhaust pipe, is super jacked up. And it's not on the desk now, but it took it off to the side. There is a broken sort of clip inside this thing. This thing fits in a well with this sort of spring right here, and they kind of work together. And unfortunately, this is broken off inside, so that's why this is like flappy all over the place. So that was a bummer. It's funny, as soon as I opened the bubble wrap, the plastic retainer for that smokestack fell off. He's got some tape on that, which I used to do as a kid, so can't be mad at that. Every time I played with these things outside, you know, you would lose a sticker, the sticker would get wet, and then you have to put some tape on it. We're getting down to the end. Let's move over to the side. We got the, what is it, Thunderhawk with Matt inside, and boom, you got one missile. Phenomenal. Definitely want to find the second one, but I mean, the wheels were not split. Definitely have some chrome wear on the wings here, but the door mechanism works. And it does have that spring inside the ceiling. I remember even as a kid, this spring up in here was a pain. Still looking good. I do think that it's missing a seatbelt, though. I feel like there's supposed to be two seatbelts. So he's got the driver's belt, but there's a hole over here. And I feel like, if I can not blur the heck out of this for you guys, that middle seatbelt is missing. So I'll have to scope that out and see. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, great shape. Does have the one missile. Decent stickers, so I think it makes an awesome display piece. The chrome, like I said, is a little bit jacked on this, but, you know, it's, what, 40 years old almost? So, you know, what can you expect? So, yeah, great classic car for this line. Probably the centerpiece, right? If you didn't have that, then your collection is not even complete. Last but not least is the Outlaw, the snake oil tanker truck. Super amazing piece in this lot. Probably the more expensive piece in the lot. Other than needing some cleaning, epic condition. This is still like tight, like factory tight. You have to sort of snap it down to get it to open. Does have the harpoon, the string, you know, for that. The winch had, when you open it up, some of these were in that plastic bag you saw, but you open it up, it's got all the goodies in there. It's got a missile inside. You got the two drivers, Miles and this guy. The radar, the two-piece radar. The two satellite dish radar things. They're a little bit stressed out, but I understand why, because it's a crazy design. Missile number 2, hose and computer panel. And I believe this is, you just sort of stick the hose out there, you know, on this side over here. But yeah, man, I mean, crazy good shape. All the stickers are actually pretty nice. All of these little parts, as you can imagine, are always lost. Especially the hose. I've seen many of these around before, but the hose is always something that you never find. Radar dish bottom's broken off, so they're there even though they're stressed. But yeah, I mean, that is by far the most epic, I would say, of all these. It's a hard piece to find complete. Dusty, a little bit of sticker wear in other places. Nothing broken though. Oh, that's right, it's got an ejection thing on the front, but yeah, you pop this little red button and this whole piece kind of shoots up. That's how you get the missile over the hatch there. But man, that was probably one of the better finds in this lot, for sure, just because it's complete. There you go, everybody. I talked pretty fast. I didn't want to bore you to death, but you know, all things considered, I think it turned out really well. I will be stoked if I can find firecracker parts and fix the tire back there. You know, anyone want to sell me a Boulder Hill? I'll be happy to. I've always got my Ziploc bags, apparently, in the frame. Some needle nose pliers and screwdrivers. But yeah, thank you guys. Happy New Year 2022. I hope you guys have awesome, toy hunt adventures and can relive the 80s like I am. Bye.